Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to integrate Apple sign-in in native iOS application with UIKit. Now I have already made a video on this previously, but I think I didn't do a good enough job on that, so that's why I'm remaking this video. So let's get started. I will show you the output at the very end. The output is not really that interesting, but firstly I have created a UIKit application, and then very next thing which I did was delete the storyboard. The reason is because suppose the view controller file which is there is my first view controller, and I have another view controller called second view controller. So whenever the user is signed in, I am redirecting from view controller to second view controller. Now suppose if the user relaunches the app after some time, I want the user to immediately go to second view controller if he is already logged in. So that's why to write that particular logic in storyboard is very difficult. That's why here you can see I have completely deleted the storyboard file, the main.storyboard file. If you are doing the same, also I have made a video on how to delete storyboard from your project, from your iOS project. So in case if you want, you can watch that video, but I will quickly explain what else things you have to do if you are deleting the storyboard. Go to info.plist, and here inside item 0 you might see a main something like that. Just delete this. So here you might see 3 items inside item 0. so apart from these two, delete the third item which you have. So I have already deleted it. Also in sign in with like select your project, go to info.plist. here also you might see something called wait, I'll know the name, called main storyboard file base name. So here, sorry, not here, I'll close everything, I'll go here. So here you will see something like main storyboard file base name, something like that over here, some third or fourth option. Just check and delete that as well. Also you will have to go to application scene manifest, scene configuration, window application scene role, item 0. here also apart from these two you might see another option. Delete that as well. Okay, once that is deleted, firstly I'll go to view controller. Also we have to make some changes in scene delegate to let it know what is the root view controller, given that we have deleted the main storyboard file. I'll come back to that later on, but first go to sign in with Apple, go to sign in and capabilities, and here you inside capabilities you will also have to add sign in with Apple as well. So go to plus capability and just search for sign in with Apple. I have already added it, that's why it is not showing it to me. So make sure you add this. Then inside view controller I am also added this JWT decode package from Swift package manager. You don't really have to use it. In case if you are interested in decoding the token which we get once the user signs in, then you might want to use it, but even without that you can get the username, like the first name, last name and email. So you don't really need this, but if you want you can use it. So here you can just import authentication services. You really don't require this import JWT decode, so you can just comment this out if you are not using it. Then we are extending AS authorization controller delegate as well as AS authorization controller presentation context providing. Here I have created our sign in with Apple button, so it automatically displays the Apple logo and everything, so we don't have to worry about it. Then I'm just displaying it at the center, and I have added one click listener to it. So once you click on it, I'm requesting for the full name as well as the email, and I'm assigning some delegate to it, and it starts performing some requests. So it will ask you for your password. If you most of you might already been signed in inside your Apple device with your Apple ID, so it will directly ask you for your account. Just select your account, it will ask you for your password. We have to override this particular method as we are overriding these two delegates. So we just have to pass our current window. In case of failure you will come over here, so you can handle however you feel like, but in case of success we will first have to convert the authorization credentials to this. I have converted it to a credentials. Okay, I'm just checking if it is an AS authorization Apple ID credential. If yes, then you will get the ID. Now this ID is very important. Store it inside your keychain, but just to keep this tutorial simple, as you can see I'm storing it inside user defaults. Don't store it inside user defaults, that's a bad practice. Here you will get the token. If you want to decode the token, you can use something like that, something like this, using this JWT decode. but again this is not really necessary. Then if you want the authorization code, you can get this, and the real user status as well. This I found pretty useless, but again if you want, you can use it. Here I am just storing our user defaults. Now coming to our first name, last name and email. Now be careful over here. Apple provides the user an option to change their first name, last name as well. Like once you click on the sign in with Apple button, the user has the choice to give you some random first name and last name as well, and they also have the option to hide their email altogether. So it's not really necessary that you will always get the email. Even if they are signed in successfully, you might not get the email. So there is an hide email option as well for the user once they click on sign in with Apple button. So be careful with that. Don't write your logic based on whether you get the user's email ID or not. So this is done. Then here again, if I'm getting the email, I'm just saving it to user defaults, but again you can do however you feel like. Then once the sign in is complete, I'm just navigating the user to second view controller. Okay, and here I'm just breaking out if it is default. Now in second view controller, if you see, again I'm using authenticated service. I have just created one simple UI label and one button. Okay, I have added one click listener to our button, set up some NS layout stuff, and here I have added this NS notification center. So suppose the user has logged in inside my application on his iPhone, and suppose on his iPad he might change his Apple credentials like password or something like that. Then immediately inside your app, you can, with the help of this notification center, if the app is already open, okay, with the help of this notification center, the user can get the developer, we can get an immediate notification that the user has changed something. So it's better we sign out the user and redirect them to the first view controller. So here you can write that particular logic. Also make sure you remove this observer inside the I think view did disappear or not I think deinit method. Yeah, inside this deinitializer you can just remove this observer as well. I think something like this, center dot. Okay, I will have to make this as, okay, I have to move it outside. Remove observer. And I think, I'm not sure if we have to pass a name or not. Can we do something like this? Missing argument. Like you can check this. I'm not really using this. I think we'll have to pass the name as well. Let's see if we can do that. Something like this name, I guess. Yeah, so something like this you can do. Here you can track the user constantly in case if he has done something, changed anything. You can also add this inside your scene delegate as well if you want to, but your choice, wherever you want to, wherever you feel comfortable. And on the second view controller's button click, all I'm doing is that I'm removing our ID from user defaults and I'm navigating to our first view controller. Now the important part comes. So inside scene delegate, given that we no longer have storyboard, so here you will have to make few changes. So here firstly, make sure you might see underscore over here, make sure you name it as window scene. Then here we have to create our UI window, assign our window scene to our Windows window scene, and here I am firstly getting user ID, which was the ID once the user has signed in successfully, we were saving that inside user defaults, right? So I'm getting that ID. If it is null or not equal to, if it is not equal to null and not equal to empty, then I'm checking all this stuff. If it is null or empty, then I'm just navigating to the first view controller. Also make sure you write this bit of code as well. Don't forget this bit of code. And if you come over here, now to check it, we just have to do AS authorization Apple ID provider dot get credential request, pass your ID over here. If it is authorized, then the root view controller is second view controller. Okay, In case of revoke state, that means something has changed on the user's account. So you will have to first clear out everything inside user defaults and make sure your first view controller, which is just the view controller, as the root view controller. Similarly for not found as well, that means the user has not signed in, so our first view controller is our view controller. So yeah, that's it. Now for the output part, I have to, you might not really see it, like I will just blur out the output because I don't want to share my Apple ID, but you might get an idea of what exactly I'm trying to do. Okay, so this is blurred out, sorry about that. So but I am inside this first view controller where it is displayed the sign in with Apple button. I'll click on it and it presents me with an Apple ID, like what all things I can share. The name, it is asking me, do I want to share the name? Like if I click on this X arrow besides the name, it will ask me to enter the first name and last name. So the user can enter random first name and last name. I will not do that. But if in below you can also see share my email as well as hide my email. So for now I will just click on share my email, but the user can hide his email or as well. Then I will click on continue with password, or if you have some passkey or face authentication, choose whatever you have. I am testing it on a simulator. Then I'll just enter the password. I'll click on sign in, and this may take a little bit. Also here you can see that I am redirected to the second view controller. Now what I'll do is I'll just stop the application completely from Xcode and I'll rerun it. Now when I rerun it, I should automatically see the second view controller, and I can see the second view controller automatically. If I click on this button of second view controller, I would be logged out and move to the first view controller. So if I log in, if I run the application again, I can just see the first view controller, and if I want, I will just now it doesn't ask me, it doesn't show me that first screen where I am, where it was asking me to whether I want to share or hide my email. It is just telling me continue with password. Yeah, I will just continue with password. I will enter my password. I'll click on sign in. And I get everything. So in this case the first name, last name and email are null. Okay, so don't be on that okay, given that the first name is proper, then you will get everything. Also one more thing which I want to highlight is that small mistake which I did previously. I was writing this user defaults.standard over somewhere over here. It's better you write it as soon as you get the ID, because sometimes this first name, last name and email are empty, and it might cause a lot of issues for you. So I think it's better you always write this user defaults, saving of user defaults over here, so that you can get you won't face any issues. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.